homemade cornbread. I'm going to show you how to make homemade cornbread. This is the brand that I have, is Auntie Mama. I'm doing all the dry first. 1 cup, which it shows 1 cup. Oh, it say half a cup. So what do? So when you picked up the wrong measuring, well, 1/2 and 1/2, it's a whole. So I'm gonna have to do 2 scoops since I didn't get the so I have 1 cup of meal. You want to always close it up, fasten it up, or put it in a container sealed tight. And you're gonna get, I'm using bread flour. This is by Gold Medal. For consistency, you can use all-purpose to be fine. 1 cup of flour. So this is makes 1 cup of flour. I have a 1/2 cup measuring. That's why I'm using that. I'm gonna fold the bread flour up because I want it to stay fresh. I'm gonna move it out the way. And I'm going to use 4 teaspoons of baking powder. So we know 4 teaspoons, even though I have a teaspoon. This is about the size on the inside of a teaspoon. To say teaspoon, say you use 4, but say if you just got a half, you just use if you have a teaspoon, you would just need 2 tablespoons. But this is a teaspoon. 1 teaspoon. 2 teaspoons. 2 teaspoons make 1 tablespoon. So this is this is a 1/3 teaspoon. And this is the 4th teaspoon, which it makes 2 tablespoons. So 4 teaspoons equal 2 tablespoons. So the next one is you want to use close, and the brand I use is Clabber Girl, been around for years, baking powder. The next one is 4 tablespoons of sugar. I use Imperial, even though I have it in a container, but that's the brand that I usually use, unless it's organic. 1, 2, 3, 4. And a 1/2 teaspoon, which will be this one, of salt. And what I do is I blend in my dry content. I blend my dry content in well. I mix well. I just take a little whisk, or you can use a blender, and you just keep until you blend everything in evenly. See how it's blended in evenly? You want all the dry ingredients to be evenly blend. Now, the next thing I want to do is you can hand whip it. You can hand whip it. Or you can use a blender. I know I need a new blender. You're going to snap them in there. Okay. So you have them stepped in. So it calls for 1 cup of milk. I leave my milk in the refrigerator and I'm taking it out in case I get sidetracked and need to do something else. I have 1 cup, we'll just say 1 cup on here. I'm going to use 1 cup of milk. Gonna fill it up to make it a full 1 cup and pour it in. 1 egg. Make sure you don't get any shells in. And you're going to use 1/4 of oil. Now you have an option to use any oil you choose. You can use olive oil. You can use Crisco oil. You can use any type of oil, vegetable oil, or grapeseed oil, whichever one. Because the only thing you're doing is putting the oil to help the moisture. And since I'm just using, this is just homemade cornbread, but I'm going to use this cornbread to make a dressing. So I'm putting 1/4 cup, 1/4 cup of oil. Nothing more, nothing less. It's a basic ingredient. Gonna make sure all the oil is out. Then you're gonna turn the blender on. You gotta make sure you plug it up. So, voila. It's your cornbread. So, you're going to preheat your oven 425 degrees. You need a spatula to help you to easily get the batter out. What you want to do is, I'm using a Corning. I believe this is by Corning. Yeah, Corningware. It's not meant for the stove top, but you can use it in the oven. Can't use it in a broiler, but I can use it in the oven. It's oven, microwave, and oven safe. So what I'm going to do is just pour a little oil in here to help so the cornbread won't stick. Usually I use butter, and that's what I normally use is butter. And even instead of using vegetable oil, if I'm just going to use regular cornbread, I usually use butter. Or if I'm going to make corny bread, you just add your cream corn, or in 1 can of cream corn, 1 can of regular corn, add more sugar and butter, and you can make you a cornbread. Cornbread is delicious with corn in it. That's like a little treat. But since I'm just doing this for dressing, this is homemade cornbread because I need to make my dressing. So I've done majority of it. So I got it on 425 degrees. And remember, always rinse your utensils off. Don't leave them in the sink dirty. Since I've made my homemade cornbread, I'm going to place it in the oven 425 degrees. Whew. Forgot I had that ham and that hen in there. Huh? You probably hurt her. You don't have the leg. You can't hurt her. Okay, I'm gonna pull this rack down. And I'm gonna stick my cornbread in the center. The oven is already preheated. And it shouldn't take no more than 20 to 25 minutes. Then the cornbread. You say, well, how do you know that it's done? Well, you can stick toothpicks in it. And if nothing come back, nothing more, that's how you know that it's done. Now, this cornbread is going to be used for a small pan of dressing. So I'm going to sit this aside. It's real warm right now.